What does the Bible and business have to do with each other? For the longest time, we've been told that the Bible and business have got absolutely nothing to do with each other. But after almost 15 years of entrepreneurship, I found out that the Bible and business have everything to do with each other. In the words of Myron Golden, business is a God idea, so business is a good idea. And so I found out that the Bible and business have got so much to do with each other. And in this video, I'm going to show you how 15 years of business experience, where at 9 years old, I was washing cars. 14, I decided to sell sweets and chocolates at school. At 16, my mom and school told me that, hey, you can't do business full time. So I was trying to look for a career where I could help people and still earn a lot of money. And I thought that was medicine and being a doctor. So I pursued medicine and being a doctor hard. At 20 years old, I was really lost and borderline depressed. After trying year after year of trying to get into medical school, after spending tens of thousands on resit exams and extra school fees, just didn't work for me. But the goal was always to be wealthy and create successful businesses. And I looked at the 100 richest people. I looked at the Forbes list, and there was one correlation I saw out of all of these rich people. Everybody on that list either A, built a business, or B, invested in a business. That's how they got rich. And that's what started my full-time entrepreneurship journey. At just 21, I hit my first $10,000 month. And at 24, I hit $100,000 in a month from my business. My business was officially a 7-figure business. At 25, I sold that business. Why? Because of God. That's a story for another day. That's a topic for another day onto why I sold that business and what God told me. But in this video, I just want to explore just how intertwined the Bible and business is, and literally 15 years of knowledge in about 10 minutes. Look, the Bible has a lot to say about business. Let me show you. Matthew 6:24 says you cannot serve God and mammon. Most people think that means you can't chase money and you can't chase God at the same time. Most people think that means it's bad to be rich. That's wrong. Money is supposed to serve you. The order is like this. Let me show you. You are here. Money serves you. You serve God. What most people think is most people have got it all backwards. Most people think that you serve money and so God has to serve you to get that money. That's not how it works. This is how we encounter the age-old saying, we've all heard it, more money, more problems. The reason why this phrase is like this is because when money increases, that increases your pride. That increases your isolation. That increases your greed. That increases your emptiness. There's a great video by a creator called Sue who made $100,000 in one single day. Shout out to him. And he spoke at length about how making that 100K, making these hundreds of thousands, increased his isolation, increased his pride.
When I hit my first $100,000 a month, I felt on top of the fucking world.
150K! Come on!
I was treating my friends, buying tables at the club, going shopping, doing whatever I wanted to without giving a damn. But soon the rush completely faded. I realized that didn't change how I fundamentally felt. After just 1 week, the 100K month didn't even feel special anymore. And suddenly I was looking for a new goal to chase. And I so clearly remember sitting in my room and asking myself, why did I even do this?
And I'm like, bro, why the fuck am I doing this shit? Genuinely.
I neglected personal relationships with people that loved me. I neglected my health completely. I stopped talking to a lot of my friends. I hit that 100K month sitting at home and I asked myself, was it worth it to get to this point?
I really don't know what the plan is now. I'm kind of just like lost.
I fell in the trap of wanting to hit this goal to impress other people because I felt like this would increase my self-worth, increase my self-identity, but it didn't.
Because the thing is this, money will just pump up your ego. What will happen is when you make more money, you're going to do everything in your power to protect your identity that was around that money. When you build an identity around money, it's only going to lead to one thing, and that's failure. And the Bible confirms this order, the correct order, in Acts chapter 4. We see in Acts chapter 4, verse 35, context. The context within that verse is this. It's the story of, the early church, and many people were selling their assets, their fields, their houses, so that they could give money to the apostles to advance the church and advance the kingdom. And we see in Acts chapter 4, verse 35, it says this. It says, the money was put at the apostles' feet. Two phrases, two words were highlighted to me in that verse. The money and feet. Feet, especially in the early church times, was the most dirtiest part of your body. Dirtiest. Only bottom barrel slaves clean the feet or touch the feet of anybody. Only the bottom barrel. To clean someone's feet, to touch their feet, it signifies the lowest part of someone's body. And it's so interesting. Why is it that money was at their feet? Money was at their feet because it signified and it showed, and the apostles knew that money was beneath them. Money was submitted to them. And money was just simply a tool. It follows this order here. Money is at your feet. God is at your head. You are subject to God, and money is subject to you. And now don't get it twisted. They had money, but money did not have them. That's the difference. They had assets. People like Barnabas, they had a lot of resources, but money did not have control over them. When it was time to sell, they did it in a snap. When it was time to do these certain things, they did it immediately. And these aren't things that are just subject to just Christians. This order here is not just about if God and Christ is at your head. This even applies to those who understand that when you have a bigger purpose, when you have something that is above you, that is bigger than you, money follows that. So this is why we see the likes of people like Elon Musk, or even if we don't even take business people, for example, we look at somebody like, we'll even look at someone like Nelson Mandela with politics. These are individuals, or Mahatma Gandhi. These are individuals that have been able to usher and steward massive change. And they had to have had massive resources. But because their purpose, because their vision was so big, money follows. Money follows when you are submitted to a vision, a purpose, which is greater than who you are. We all know this thing. Whatever you chase, it runs away from you. And whatever you attract wants to chase you. That's because you have dominion. That's because you have value. That's because you know your identity. Look, look, nobody is confused about dominion when it comes to having pets. We all have dogs. As a human species, we have dogs that we keep in our house. We can go to the supermarket and go get fish. We have petrol that we've been able to mine, and now we put it in our cars. We have no issue about dominion when it comes to these things. The Bible will even say verses like, the Bible will say in Genesis that he's given Adam dominion and given humans dominion over the fishes of the sea and the birds of the air. Guess what we do now? We eat fish and we eat birds. We eat chicken, we eat quail. We have pets in our house. So why is it that we're not confused about the order, the dominion order when it comes to these things? But when it comes to money, the order flips. When it comes to money, you put money at your head. When it comes to money, you're not putting money at your feet. It's the wrong order. And the reason why it's the wrong order is because you're not clear on your identity. What you need to do is you need to stop chasing money like a slave and start attracting it like a king. Any entrepreneur, any businessman should know that you need to provide value so money can follow that. You need to provide solutions, order, stewardship. Most importantly, mastery. When you have these things, money will follow it. When you know your identity, you know your domain, you know what you're supposed to be having dominion over. You know your domain. You know that, see, that's what a kingdom is. When you're a king over your domain, over your pocket of influence, over your niche, you know what you're attacking. You know what you've been called to do. You know your identity. This is why the Bible will say, seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then what will happen? All these things will be added onto you. Let's put money into that equation. If we seek his kingdom and his righteousness, or in other words, if we seek value, if we seek problem solving, if we seek mastery, if we seek stewardship, then guess what will follow? Money. Money will just become a byproduct. As an entrepreneur, businessman, woman, investor, we must understand this concept. And we have to continuously ask ourselves the question, are we letting money become the goal? Or is it the byproduct? Because if we're letting money become the goal, this is what happens to the hedge fund guy. Every day at 9 a.m., he gets his dose of cocaine to ensure that he can last the day and chase the money that he's chasing.
A drug dealer would turn up at 9 o'clock every morning. So I didn't phone him, I didn't ring him. It was just, on schedule. So I'd be sitting at Citibank, Canary Wharf, second floor, and I'm a director of the bank. I'm running the biggest forward foreign exchange book on the desk. And a lot of responsibility, a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure. And I'm a senior trader. And my phone would go, ping, ping. I'm here.
The dealer would come to work.
Yep. So I'd go down Canary Wharf, second floor, big shiny building, Citibank with the big logo on top. And I'd go downstairs, jump in the lift, go downstairs, jump in the car, drive around the block, give him 200 quid and get 3 grams of coke. And I'd just use all day.
This is what happens when we look at suicide statistics, where all the studies show that when people get massive amounts of money, it increases the likelihood of suicides and suicide increase in these people. This is what happens to people in gambling. We've all heard the stories. People who have lost marriages, lost families, lost themselves because of gambling, because money came at them so quickly. Why? Because they're making money their head. This is what happens to divorce, and we look at all the divorce statistics. 57% of entrepreneurs state that their businesses took a hit when they became divorced. We know all about the divorce statistics that happen because of money and financial issues. This is what happens to lottery winners. 70% of them lose all of their earnings when they win the lottery. Why? Because money has become their head. They don't know how to steward money. They don't know how to put money at their feet. Every entrepreneur must master these things. And if you don't, then money will eventually take you over. Look at what's going on with Floyd Mayweather, for goodness sake. Apparently, it's said that he's losing a lot of his wealth. Why? Money was at his head, not at his feet.